how did you keep the discussion going in the direction that you had anticipated or that you'd thought about as you prepared the lesson?
Sometimes you're unable to. In my experience as a teacher, sometimes lessons go off course. In this situation, it lined up. I think as you figure out in your preparation mode, I do think there is a natural sequence. You're trying to figure out what that natural sequence is, and but I think you also have to be open to spiritual impressions and people's comments, and being open to going the direction that the Spirit prompts or that an individual needs addressed. So sometimes I don't think that's necessarily. Sometimes you have to just adapt to that as a teacher. But in this particular instance, things worked out. It was very linear. Things progressed, and it ended up in a really positive place.
So when you had prepared, had you thought through the direction that you wanted the discussion to go?
I did, and the course of the conversation went exactly that way.
All right.
Yeah.
So you had planned for a discussion, and the discussion unfolded like you had planned.
Right.
Excellent.
And I think, again, the investment in figuring out and thinking very carefully about the questions you want to ask increases the probability that the outcome will happen that way.
Right.
And again, I wouldn't minimize how hard it is and how much time is required in prayer to figure out the right questions. Again, it's not an exercise in regurgitating facts.
Yeah.
It's, again, the Savior's questions caused people to be, put them in a little bit of an unstable position, and examine tension in human experience. And to do that requires work.
Yeah. How can a teacher, from your experience, because you did this so effectively, how can a teacher engage everyone in the class? What are the elements that you think facilitate the energy? I don't know what the right word for it is. The energy, the willingness to participate on the part of everyone in the class.
I think sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think it's more likely to work when the conversation is centered around there are these universal values, right, that we're all struggling to incorporate in our lives. And I think if we focus on how do we incorporate some of those values, some of those gospel principles, some of those Christ-like attributes into our lives, very frequently that's a universal experience, regardless of our age. It may look differently based on how old we are, based on our life experience. But nevertheless, if we focus there, I think that welcomes individuals into the conversation. They have something that they can share and offer